All right, everyone, we're here with Alex Perez today. Alex, we do a little bit different of a podcast than a traditional podcast. We do an interactive podcast where we have our members from our Discord community drop us questions, as well as a couple preset questions that we have together for you. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, starting back as far as your professional debut, you got a knockout in round one. What kind of motivation was that for you back then?
It was just motivation because you know, getting that win, first win out of Tachi Palace in 2011, I believe. It was just kind of set me on the right path. I knew I was doing the right things and training with the right people.
Awesome. You would then fight a few more times before getting the call to join or go on to Dana White's Contender Series. Ultimately, you got the win, and you came out with the contract. How did that feel to not only get the call to go on to the show, but to actually get the win and the contract?
I felt good, especially because that spot wasn't mine. I took it on short notice. I think they called me about 2.5 weeks before. I was getting ready to fight Chad George at 135s actually at Taji Palace the week after, in a few weeks. So I was kind of already in shape in camp. And when I got the call, Coach Colin Oyama, first I kind of said, maybe I don't know if I can make 125s. Coach Colin called me on the phone and was like, hey, man, you're going to make this weight. We're going to do this. Got That's when I connected with Perfecting Athletes. They got the weight down, and it was amazing. First person from my hometown, Lou Moore. There's a lot of MMA history there with Tachi Palace. WEC originated there, and a lot of the like great guys come out of the Central Valley. So it was a big thing for me to be the first person from Lou Moore to come out and represent.
Dude, imagine if you wouldn't have took that opportunity.
Yeah,
That
man.
would have been
My life would
crazy.
be a lot different. That's for sure.
Wow. You then made your debut on December 9th of 2017. What were the nerves like going into that fight in such an anticipated debut, and how did it feel to get that victory that night?
It was cool because I mean I would corner people in the UFC at that point, so it wasn't too nerve wracking doing all the stuff myself, like poster signing interviews. I've been there with like Carla and Joe, some of those guys already. The biggest nerve was that I was flying 45 minutes from my hometown, so I knew the crowd was gonna be there, behind me. So I remember just walking out and not being able to hear my walkout music, and being able to get a finish, um, in front of my friends and family. Not too many people get a fight close to the hometown, and it was a great opportunity, great experience. I mean, besides fighting for the title, I mean, that's probably one of my favorite memories.
Partied pretty hard that night, huh?
Yeah, a little too hard afterwards, a little too hard.
Yeah, that's what you get for being at home, though. Uh,
Oh man.
um, what was it like to finally get to experience a pay per view card on UFC 227? Did it feel any different than a normal fight that you've had before?
Nah. I mean, I'm pretty good at just blocking that stuff out. I actually like being one of the first fights because the nerves don't kick in as much, right? You're not waiting around all day to fight. But it was cool. Being able to fight in Fresno, being able to fight in LA. I'm a California boy, so I still want to fight in Anaheim. I still want to fight in Sacramento, and I know they go to San Diego once in a while. So those three on my list I want to do, and cover the whole state of California. But it was amazing to fight at the Staples Center. One of my teammates now, Cody Garbrandt, was the main event against TJ. You got to see Cejudo versus DJ on there. Kevin Holland was on that card as well. So a lot of good guys competed that night. So it was cool to be a part of that.
Such a high level event, honestly.
Yeah, man. Like I said, no event like an UFC event. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Finally, on November 21st of 2020, you had a moment many fighters often dream about, and that moment was you headlining your own pay per view card. How did that moment feel?
It was cool. Everything I worked for was coming together at that point in time. Obviously I didn't get the win, but still, that's that's a small percentage of MMA fighters, UFC fighters in general, just get to be on a poster, main eventing on pay per view. I remember it was crazy. I'll be running and seeing a commercial of the pay per view coming up. As a man, that's crazy. People looking at me all weird because they'll see me, they'll look over, I'll be running, and they look up on the TV and it'll be me. So it's definitely one of the best experiences I've ever had. Like I said, I wouldn't change it for the world, even the outcome to help me grow from that.
That's awesome. You fought so many legends in the flyweight division over your time. How do you feel the flyweight division compares to when you first got into it compared to now? Do you think the competition's gotten tougher? Do you think it's about you're kind of on your way up and you've mastered your craft and you're just
Um, honestly, yeah. I mean, I fought a lot of good guys in the flyweight division. But I think the division's only getting better. The kids are getting younger. I say call them kids. They're around like 20 something. I'll be 32 by the time I compete again. I'll be 33. So, I mean, the competition's getting better. These kids are starting to do MMA instead of like where I came from, or traditional wrestling background. So a lot of these guys are starting to train MMA right off the back.
yeah, they are super young too. Kaya Sakura just made his debut. He came over from Ryzen. What were your thoughts on him?
Super nice guy. We actually trained a little bit together. My buddy, he's a wrestling coach right now. Oh, excuse me. He's a wrestling coach right now, Billy Bigelow. Super nice guy. What I mean, he deserved the title shot. He had a lot of hype behind him. You know, a little bit different competition out here in the UFC. But I mean, he held his own until he didn't. He's gonna be right back up there, get a fight in, get a win, and be back in the mix.
Not specific to MMA, but curious on how your Acai Republic franchise is going.
It's going good, man. I love it. It's been 3 years. Gonna open my fourth year. Um, couldn't Ooh. Couldn't want a better partner. You know what I mean? Aussie Republic does a very good job of taking care of me, helping me out when I need it. My staff there at Aussie Republic Orange, they're amazing. They kill it. Obviously, I'm fighting and training and coaching, so they hold it down for me. Everybody on my staff is great, is amazing. Aussie Republic, everybody that's worked there, they've been very helpful up to this point.
That's awesome. What are your thoughts on last night's first pay per view card of the year? Um, we had a few fraud checks, you could say. We had a really great, main and co-main fight. What were your thoughts on last night's card?
Uh, It was good, man. I don't like using the word fraud check, just because those guys are finding a lot of guys with experience, just because they don't beat those guys doesn't mean they're not good. If you put a guy around the same level as them, they're gonna be better than those guys, right? Like experience does matter. Um, it don't matter how talented you are. Like all those kids that have lost recently with were undefeated. They'll be back. It's a new generation, new time for the sport. So, like I says, I don't believe in fraud checks. I just believe, like, man, you have an off night, you have an off night. All those kids they're undefeated are gonna be back. They're gonna be better than ever. You know what I mean? They fought like the two guys that fought last night. I forget. One lost. One was Muim. Muim beat him. Kids 9-0 and was coming off a year layoff. You know what I mean? So obviously a little bit rusty. Uh, Peyton, Peyton, right? I believe that's the name.
Yeah, Peyton.
Yeah, he fought a guy with a lot of experience, man. He's fought Umar, like he got knocked out by Umar, but dude, that guy is really good. I mean, I remember they were offering him to one of my friends. I was like, bro, that's a hard fight. Like, I would not take that fight. That guy has a lot of experience. I mean, he fought a guy that had a lot of experience. The guy did what he needed to do to win, but he'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely. His game plan, he went in there, he had a strict game plan. He stuck to it. Ultimately, he got the victory. What were your thoughts on Marab versus Umar?
Man, I love Marab. Umar actually is a good guy too. I've never trained with Umar, but I see him around the PI when he was there. A super great guy, like always very humble. Marab, I've trained with Marab at Syndicate for a while when I was out there. They're both good dudes, man. Marab's an animal, man. He's a killer. He's one of them. I mean, I spar with him. He's one of my favorite guys to spar with. Just awesome dude, man. I'm couldn't be happier. Sucks for Umar. Like I say, he's a good dude too, but he'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely. When do you think we see someone, tire Marab out? Like, do you think that's a possibility that we see, or do you think that guy's just the machine?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard. I've trained with them before, and
He's just like that in
he
training.
got he got a, he got an engine on him. You know what I mean? He got an engine on him. So, I mean, I think to beat him, you're gonna have to finish him.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking last night. To beat this guy, you're gonna have to leave him unconscious.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
he's that good. Um, is there a fighter you'd specifically like to face in the year 2025?
Man, I want to get all my fights back from when I want to fight Mashinal. I want to fight Manal. I want to fight Amir. I want to fight. I want to rematch with Pantoja. There's guys in that on that. Those are guys that are supposed to fight. One already fought, but the guys are supposed to fight. I just want to go back and run those through. What I mean, they're all good dudes. Talk to Manal, talk to Matt, talk to Amir. They're all great guys, but we're supposed to fight before in the past. I would like to get those fights in this year. I want to get. I mean, I'm looking to return end of May, maybe beginning of June. I want to get at least 2 to 3 in this year, coming up, and go from there.
That's awesome. Do you have any news for us yet, or just kind of still?
No, no news yet. I hit up the matchmakers. I know I'll be ready by that time. I told my manager, I gave him the same names. Like, hey, I would like to fight these guys. I mean, obviously, I know Manel just one. He's gonna be fine. Someone else. I would like Amir, like because he's coming off a loss. I'm coming off a loss. That'd be a good fight. I think we're supposed to fight in December. I think in 2021, I believe. I ended up having to get orbital surgery, so if I had to come out of that fight, but I would like to fight him. He's a good dude. I mean, he's great skill. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's a fight I want back.
Awesome. Well, Alex, that's really all we got for you today, man. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or a social you'd like to plug?
Oh yeah, just Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Twitter, Alex Perez MMA. Everybody else, appreciate all the support. My family, friends, everybody. You guys are awesome. Yeah, man, wouldn't be here without you guys.
Well, hey, brother, thank you so much for coming on, and God bless.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.